Hey guys, my name is Samantha Roden. I'm a certified personal trainer with ACE, or American Council on Exercise, and I wanted to take an opportunity to go over my personal notes with you. I have the, 5th edition, the Certified Personal Trainer Manual here. I'd like to go over my personal notes with you from Chapter 2, just to let you know what I thought was important out of that chapter. I recommend you read this chapter and then go over this video to kind of pull out some highlights. Definitely take good notes as you read the chapter. So some things we want to talk about out of this chapter, talking about what is the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, what is self-efficacy, what are some factors that influence a client's adherence and the participation of your program, and discuss some goal setting. So some terms that we need to hit first off is motivation. Motivation is a psychological drive that gives people their purpose and direction in terms of their behavior, what gives them their drive, Adherence and exercise refers to the point at which a person will stick to the given program. That's very important to keep them involved, keep them engaged. You don't want them to get stale and stagnant with the program that you've developed for them. A next term in this chapter that's pretty huge, ACE is super big on their trans-theoretical model of behavior change. They base their entire program off of this, and it breaks down some psychological factors of when a client first hears about exercise and contemplation, and it'll make more sense as we go along. Chapter 4 will go into more detail about the trans-theoretical model of behavioral change. Let's see. Another term is feedback, a response that is internal for the learner. It happens during the process of information. The correctness and incorrectness of the internal response is stored as memory and will be used in the future for activity or movement. So both verbal and nonverbal information can be stored. So that's their definition. Feedback in simple terms is what kind of feedback are you getting from them, and what kind of feedback are you giving to them. You want to let them know when they have met some goals, in your opinion, or if they're simply doing squats with a better form, push-ups with a better form. They need some positive reinforcement that'll keep them going. Exercise is tough, especially in the beginning, and you don't want them to get discouraged and feel like they're not making any progress. But you also need to watch those cues and feedback from them. If they're, you'll know when they're still enjoying your program, or if they feel like they're getting any benefit out of the exercise. All right. We talk about heart rate reserve, and I think I touched base on that a little bit in Chapter 1 on the first video that I made. Heart rate reserve is the capacity of the heart. This is measured by taking the difference of someone's max heart rate and their heart rate at rest. This is an overall reflection of the ability of the heart rate, for the heart to increase its cardiac output from resting to maximal intensity. Here at my gym, we do heart rate training through a CuroFit technology. It'll take the heart rate and subtract it from 220. It finds the client's max heart rate, and then it breaks it down into 65 to 75% of that max heart rate, which will bring them into their fat burning zone. ACE has their own little way of doing it. There's 2 or 3 different formulas throughout this program, but that's probably the most simplest way to do it. It's age minus 220. That's not so super important in this chapter, but it will be in the upcoming chapter. Let's see. We talk about knowledge of results. This is a motivational impact that provided feedback has on an individual when they are learning a new task. This indicates the outcomes of performance. It is essentially, this will essentially motivate someone if they know and recognize the results, but also demotive if they do not see the results. Again, let them know if they're making progress, give them a little praise. That'll go a long ways. Okay, in talking about intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation, again, just to review, this is the pure joy that someone gets out of exercising. They exercise go to the gym, stick with your workout program solely because they enjoy what they are doing. It gives them internal satisfaction. Now, extrinsic motivation is, I've got to lose 25 pounds so I can get in that bikini and be hot for the summer, or I want to look good for my spouse, or anything that's not internally fulfilling. Let's see. Self-efficacy. The simplest way I could break that down for you is them having like self-esteem and confidence in themselves to complete a task or a goal. So here is ACE's long and drawn out description of it. Self-efficacy is an important part of motivation because it deals with positive thinking. Personal trainers should clearly understand this concept. And the concept of exercise, self-efficacy, is the belief someone has in their ability to be successful in a program, aka self-esteem. These beliefs will influence clients' behaviors, thought patterns, and emotional responses. When a person truly believes they can take part in effective exercise and be successful in it, they go on to say, they will do it with positive thoughts and thus put on more effort. Through the efforts of self-efficacy, we see people more motivated to put in this extra effort and desire to work out persist. People will adhere to these programs because of the psychological effects of self-efficacy. A trainer is aware of the client's self-efficacy levels and will be able to motivate consistently and help create positive self-belief. That's really long, was it? All right. So let's see. There are some factors that include, this is kind of important. There are 3 factors that influence exercise participation and adherence to your program. They are personal attributes, environmental factors, and physical activity factors. Now let's break those down. Personal attributes include demographic things such as education, income, age, gender, health status. Could be what are their chronic diseases or comorbidities that they have, or do they have any? Are they perfectly healthy? And let's see, activity history. We could talk about their past program participation. Ask them before. Now, have you ever done a workout program before? Have you ever worked with a personal trainer? Have you ever been with a gym before? And kind of get a feel, put some feelers out there and see if they've been dedicated before, or are they going to be one of those people that sign up for a couple of months and then they drift away. So let's see, psychological traits. A person's ability to set goals, self-reinforce, and monitor progress. Knowledge, attributes, and beliefs, the participation of health. Kind of zone in. Those are some contributing factors related to program adherence. Environmental factors include access to the facility. How far away are they from your gym or from the gym that you want to work out? You know, if you're a personal trainer making visits, that sort of thing. How far away are they? What is their income, their age, and gender? Those all play roles. Let's see, health status. We talked about that again. I'm sorry. Time. People will use time as an excuse to not exercise. You know, I have a gym here and I always give everybody their first free workout. And so they'll come in, they'll do the workout, and they're pumped, and they like it. And, well, I just don't know if I have the time. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You could get up 30 minutes, an hour earlier in the morning, get your day started, come to the gym, or just get some tasks completed to get to work early so you can get off earlier so you can swing by the gym on the way home. They will use that as a huge excuse to not want to commit to your program, but people do have time. They have time to go home and watch Netflix and binge watch shows and that sort of thing. So they waste a lot of time in their day and they don't realize it. It's all about prioritizing their time. And you can help them to figure that out. Where are they wasting time? And Netflix is wasting time. I'm sorry, but it is. Okay, so moving on. Physical activity factors. Okay, so looking at the intensity of the program, the rate of dropout is always higher in a high-intensity workout program. I have a high-intensity workout program here. I see this. Yes, it's hard. It is very hard. But is it worth it? Absolutely, 100%. You'll get results. So yeah, it's hard and it sucks at first. And the first 2 weeks are going to be horrible. But if you make it past that, you got it. It's just getting that body conditioned. You can do it. Let's see. But yes, the dropout rate is higher in higher intensity workout programs compared to lower intensity. Rate of perceived exertion comes into play for this factor. Now, we talked about rate of perceived exertion in the last chapter. ACE refers to it as RPE, and it's the client's rating as far as how hard they're pushing themselves, if they feel like they're pushing too hard. So 0 is nothing, 10 is the worst ever. You feel like you're about to die, pass out, whatever. So you want to keep their level around 6 or 7 or so, enough to keep them engaged and challenge them a little bit, but we're not trying to kill anybody either. Let's see. Injury. The higher level of physical activity, the more risk of developing activity-related injuries. That is very true, and that's why clients should understand that there's always a risk for injury with exercise, and as a personal trainer, to cover yourself, always have a waiver that they fill out before they start any program with you. And ACE on the back of the book has some templates and little waivers and legal liability forms that you can copy, that sort of thing. And it'll come in your personal, when you pass your personal trainer test, that information will come on your online program as well. It's very helpful. All right, goal setting. Goal setting. This is ACE's ginormous breakdown. I'll read it to you. It's an important part of exercise adherence. It is a simple and extremely effective way to bring about adherence. Most trainers see goals only as a way to gather information for their programs and track progress. This is a great part of goal setting, but it can be implemented and to understand what the client expects to gain, what they desire, what they doubt about themselves. Less obvious effects of proper goal setting can be things like the ability to create conversation, listen to clients, build rapport. In order to properly set goals, we should revisit, reassess, and reset often. These processes help direct attention and increase and continue client effort and promote persistence with their exercise. So yes, we want to talk with them initially when you first explain your program, put some feelers out, kind of see what their goals are. So what are your goals? Is it to lose 25 pounds in 3 months? And these goals, they need to be realistic, okay? Nobody's going to lose in a healthy manner. Nobody's going to lose 30 pounds in a month. That's not healthy. You can with some extreme diets and supplements and things like that, but is it healthy? No, it's not. And dropping weight like that, that's not going to last long term. The goal here is to create habits to change their lives in a healthy manner. Going on like oh my goodness, that military diet, that's cool and everything, but if you're going to exercise, you got no gas in your tank. And as far as a low carb diet goes, we do need carbs. Carbs are like putting fuel in your car. You can't drive your car with no gas in it, right? So if you come into the gym on the keto diet, taking in 20 or less carbs per day, you're going to pass out or you're going to feel sick. It's not healthy. That's not, how it should be. Now, should you eat a crap ton of carbs? No. Eat some complex carbs. We don't take in simple carbs. Crap like, Debbie cakes and Coca-Colas and crap like that's crap. That's not good for you. Take in some sweet potatoes, beans, vegetables. Find your carbs from vegetables, and I'd rather you have fruit than like snack cakes or whatever. But that's my rant on that. You do need some carbs, especially if you're going to do a program like mine, this high intensity interval training, because you need some fuel to get through this. And long-term, keto style diet, 20 or less carbs per day, that's not good for your kidneys. It's just not. All right, so I'm going to look back over some more notes that I have here and make sure that I've hit all the important highlights for you. Talked about motivation, intrinsic and extrinsic. They're trans-theoretical. We kind of skimmed. Now, in Chapter 4, we'll go into super deep detail about that, and it is really important because, like, even if you take, if you're planning to take the personal trainer course through ACE, even if you try to take the health coach course, it comes up back in that course again. So, you know, they base their entire program off this thing. Super important. Let's see. We talked about self-efficacy. We talked about clients' adherence, relapse. Plan ahead and be prepared for your clients to relapse or drop out of your program. Already have that going in the back of your mind, how you would like to discuss this with them, counsel them, that sort of thing. Look for some flags to pop up. Be prepared and have a backup plan. Let's see, factors that influence exercise adherence. We talked about personal attributes, demographic, health status, active history, psychological traits, knowledge, attitude, beliefs. Environmental. Assess location of the gym, time, social support. That's another big one. Think about it in an ideal, perfect world. A lady would have a husband that's so supportive of her going to the gym and would, you know, want to help her eat healthy, and he'd want to eat healthy along with her. And it don't happen. You know, whether it's a man, woman, whoever, they need some social support from their family. And if they don't have that, then you try your best to give them some support and encouragement to, you know, make good choices. Physical activity factors. We talked about intensity and injury with those programs, and dropout rates of high intensity versus lower intensity programs. But high intensity is my favorite thing. All right, I think that's all that I have for you in Chapter 2. It was rather a short chapter, but stay tuned. I'll be bringing a video out soon for Chapter 3, and we'll work our way through the entire manual, okay? Take care. Have a good day.